You're commanding U-333. September 1943. You just spotted a convoy. Perfect target. 12 merchant ships, lightly escorted. Only 4 destroyers. Slow. Fat. Loaded. This is it. This is what you've been searching for. Easy pickings. Multiple kills guaranteed. Your crew is excited. Ready. This patrol is about to be successful. You maneuver into position. Call in other U-boats. A wolf pack is forming. 6 submarines converging. This convoy is doomed. You fire your first torpedo. Miss. Strange. You're experienced. That should have hit. Second torpedo. Miss again. The merchant ship should be there. It's not where it should be. Then you realize the cargo ships aren't cargo ships. They're warships. The escorts aren't 4 destroyers. They're 12. And they're all turning toward you. You just attacked a trap. And you're about to die. Before we dive into this story, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because what you're about to learn shows how deception became one of the deadliest weapons in the Battle of the Atlantic. Early 1943. The Allies have a problem. U-boats are smart, experienced. They avoid heavily escorted convoys. Target weak ones. Hit and run. Escape before reinforcements arrive. The solution? Make weak convoys. Deliberately. Bait. Small convoys. Few visible escorts. Slow speeds. Everything that says easy target. Everything that attracts U-boats. But it's a lie. A carefully engineered lie. The merchant ships are actually warships. Armed merchant cruisers. Q-ships. Heavily armed. Disguised as cargo vessels. Fake smokestacks. Fake cargo holds. Hidden guns. The few escorts are actually many. Some visible. Others over the horizon. Radar equipped. Ready to converge when U-boats attack. And there's air cover. Hidden. Escort carriers just beyond visual range. Aircraft ready to launch. Fighters. Bombers. Attack planes. The convoy looks vulnerable. Weak. Tempting. It's actually a death trap. Engineered to kill submarines. The British called these operations Buttercup missions. Later, Raspberry. Code names for deception operations. Luring U-boats into carefully planned ambushes. The concept was brilliant. U-boats hunted convoys, so give them convoys to hunt. Convoys that hunt back. Turn the hunters into the hunted. Reverse the game. And it worked. Multiple times. Different variations. Different theaters. Same concept. Bait. Ambush. Kill. The Germans learned slowly, painfully, through losses, through dead crews, through submarines that attacked perfect targets and never returned. The first major success was Operation Observant, July 1943, mid-Atlantic. The Allies created a fake convoy, Convoy ON-202. On paper, it looked weak. 8 merchant ships, 3 escorts, slow, heavily loaded, perfect target. But the merchant ships were actually 4 escort carriers and 4 armed support vessels. The 3 escorts were actually 18 destroyers and frigates, some visible, most over the horizon. Coordinated by radio. Intelligence knew U-boats were in the area. Code breaking. Direction finding. The Allies knew where the wolf packs were positioned, knew what they were looking for. So they gave them exactly what they wanted to see. A weak convoy, right in their patrol area. Impossible to resist. U-boat U-504 found it first. Commander Fritz Posky, experienced officer. 14 ships already sunk. He couldn't believe his luck. Contact, convoy, 8 ships, light escort, grid square BC-47, all boats converge. 6 U-boats started closing in. U-504, U-333, U-618, U-403, U-706, U-371, a full wolf pack, coordinated attack planned. They approached carefully. Professional. This was standard procedure. Multiple submarines, multiple angles. Overwhelm the escorts. Sink maximum tonnage. U-504 fired first. Spread of 4 torpedoes. Should have hit at least 2 ships. All missed. The targets weren't where they appeared to be. Strange. Then the merchant ships turned toward the bomb U-boats. Fast. Faster than any cargo ship should move. And aircraft launched. From the merchant ships, escort carriers revealing themselves. The escorts over the horizon converged. Suddenly 18 ships were visible, all moving at attack speed, all heading for the U-boat positions. The wolf pack scattered. Panic. This wasn't a convoy. This was an ambush, a trap. They'd been lured. U-333 tried to escape. Crash dive, too late. Aircraft overhead, depth charges, hedgehog attacks from multiple destroyers. The submarine was bracketed, surrounded, doomed. Commander Peter Kremer somehow got U-333 out. Barely. Massive damage. Several men dead. The submarine limping, but alive. One of the few that escaped. The others weren't so lucky. U-706 sunk. All hands lost. U-618 damaged. Forced to surface. Scuttled by crew. Most survived as prisoners. 4 U-boats attacked. 2 sunk. 1 crippled. 1 barely escaped. The bait convoy worked. Perfectly. Lethally. If you're watching this, and your mind is racing, hit that subscribe button right now, because this is just the beginning. Q-ships weren't new. Britain used them in World War I. Decoy ships. Armed merchants disguised as targets. U-boats surfaced to sink them with deck guns. Q-ship reveals hidden weapons. Sinks the U-boat. Worked well initially. U-boats learned. Stopped surfacing. Used torpedoes from distance. Q-ships became less effective. World War II brought evolution. Smarter Q-ships. Better disguises. More sophisticated tactics. HMS Fidelity. Looks like a cargo ship. Slow. Ugly. Rusty. Perfect target. Actually carries hidden guns, depth charges, torpedo tubes, and a small submarine in a secret hold, plus motorboats for boarding actions. The idea, U-boat attacks. Fidelity looks damaged, appears to be sinking. Crew abandons ship. U-boat approaches to confirm the kill. Hidden guns fire, or the hidden submarine launches, or motorboats attack. Multiple surprises, multiple threats. This worked against inexperienced U-boat commanders. Green crews, first patrols. They made mistakes, got too close, got ambitious, got killed. Experienced commanders were warier, suspicious. That ship looks too perfect, too vulnerable, too convenient. Stay back, torpedo from distance. So, the Allies adapted, made decoys less obvious. Mixed real merchants with armed ships. You couldn't tell which was which. Some convoys had Q-ships. Some didn't. U-boats couldn't know. This created paranoia. Every convoy might be a trap. Every weak target might be bait. Attack anyway. Risk it. Or let potentially real targets escape. The psychological warfare was effective. U-boats became more cautious, attacked less, even when facing real targets. Reduced effectiveness. Mission accomplished without firing a shot. The real game changer was escort carriers, small aircraft carriers, converted merchant ships, carried 20 to 30 aircraft, could operate anywhere. These revolutionized anti-submarine warfare and made the perfect decoy corps. Here's how it worked. An escort carrier looks like a large merchant ship from distance. Similar size, similar speed, similar profile. But it carries fighters, bombers, and anti-submarine aircraft. Radar-equipped, experienced crews. Deadly. Pair one escort carrier with actual merchant ships and heavy escorts over the horizon. You create the perfect trap. U-boat scouts see merchant convoy. Report it. Wolf pack forms. Approaches. Gets close. Carrier launches aircraft. Suddenly there's air cover. From nowhere, fighters strafe surfaced U-boats. Bombers drop depth charges. Anti-submarine planes hunt with sonobuoys. Meanwhile, The hidden escorts converge. Destroyers at 30 knots, frigates, corvettes, all equipped with modern sonar, hedgehog, acoustic torpedoes. The U-boats are caught between air and surface. No escape angle, no safe direction. Trapped. USS Bogue, American escort carrier. Part of multiple hunter-killer groups. Used as bait repeatedly. U-boats. Thought it was a tanker. Easy target. Valuable. They attacked. Bogue launched aircraft. Escorts converged. Bogue's group sank 12 U-boats using this tactic. 12. By pretending to be vulnerable. By being bait. USS Card. Another escort carrier. Similar tactics. 9 U-boats sunk. Same method. Look weak. Lure them in. Kill them. The tactic was repeatable. Reliable. U-boats kept falling for it. Because they had to attack something. Had to sink ships. Had to accomplish missions. Even risky targets were better than empty patrols. And the Allies knew this. Exploited this. Used German desperation against them. Turned their need to attack into their vulnerability. These operations weren't random. They were intelligence-driven, precisely planned, based on code breaking and direction finding. Ultra intercepts told the Allies where U-boats were, where wolf packs were forming, what they were targeting, what routes they were watching. So the Allies could position bait convoys perfectly, right in the U-boat's path, right where they were searching, impossible to resist, too tempting to ignore. And they could predict U-boat behavior, knew which commanders were aggressive, which were cautious, which would attack bait, which wouldn't. Aggressive commanders got targeted, bait operations positioned for them specifically. Lure them, kill them, remove the dangerous aces, reduce U-boat effectiveness. Cautious commanders were left alone sometimes. Let them survive with empty patrols. No kills, no success. Demoralize them, break their confidence, make them question their caution. The psychological manipulation was sophisticated, scientific, calculated to maximize effect. And the Germans didn't know, didn't realize their codes were broken, didn't realize the Allies knew everything. Thought they were being careful, being professional, being smart. They were being read, being predicted, being manipulated into traps, into ambushes, into death. Some operations were pure deception. The convoy didn't exist. Radio transmissions faked, false traffic, false positions, false cargo manifests, all intercepted by U-boats listening. Wolf packs formed, converged on empty ocean, wasted fuel, wasted time, found nothing, returned to base frustrated, demoralized, questioning their intelligence, their skills, their purpose. Meanwhile, real convoys crossed elsewhere, undetected, unmolested, safe. The deception operations weren't just about killing U-boats. They were about distraction, misdirection, resource waste, strategic deception, winning without fighting. Let me tell you about specific operations, real ambushes, real kills. Operation Buttercup, March 1943. Small convoy. 6 ships. 2 visible escorts. Crossing the air gap where land-based aircraft couldn't reach. Perfect target, or so it seemed. U-boats U-87 and U-172 attacked. The escorts were actually 8 destroyers. 4 visible, 4 hidden below horizon. Radar coordinated, both U-boats. Detected, hunted, U-87 damaged, forced to surface, scuttled, crew captured. U-172 escaped damaged, barely. The operation killed 1 U-boat and crippled another, for 0 losses. The convoy was bait. The bait worked. Operation Raspberry, August 1943. Convoy of 12 ships. Actually 4 escort carriers, 6 destroyers, 2 submarines. Entire group was military, disguised as merchants. U-boat U-664 attacked. Torpedoed what it thought was a tanker. Actually hit escort carrier HMS Tracker. The carrier survived. Minor damage. Then Tracker's aircraft launched, found U-664, sank it with depth charges. All hands lost, 44 men dead. They attacked bait. Bait killed them. Operation Teardrop. April 1945. Final months of war. Intelligence suggested U-boats were heading to American coast, possibly carrying V-2 rockets, possibly planning attacks on East Coast cities. 2 escort carrier groups, positioned as convoys, heavily armed, waiting. U-boats U-518, U-546, U-880, U-1235, intercepted. All attacked what they thought were convoys. All were engaged by the carrier groups. U-546 sunk, U-518 sunk, U-880 sunk, U-1235 sunk. 4 U-boats, all dead, all killed by fake convoys. Final trap operation of the war. These operations prove the concept worked, repeatedly, lethally. U-boats couldn't resist what looked like easy targets, even late war. Even when they should have known better, the Germans eventually figured it out, slowly, through painful losses, through pattern analysis. Donitz started noticing. These convoy attacks have too many casualties, too many U-boats lost, too few ships sunk. Something is wrong. He issued warnings. Be cautious of lightly escorted convoys, maybe traps. Verify targets before attacking. Report unusual observations. But verification was hard. How do you verify a convoy from periscope depth? From kilometers away? You can't. You guess. You estimate. You risk. And the Allies kept refining the deceptions, made them more realistic, less obvious, harder to detect. Some operations mixed real merchants with warships, so the convoy was partially real, partially bait. U-boats couldn't tell which ships were which. Attack and find out, usually too late. U-boat commanders started sharing information. Avoid convoys in grid square BE32, known trap area. Small convoys near Iceland are often ambushes. This helped, somewhat, reduced casualties, but also reduced attacks, reduced effectiveness. The traps didn't have to kill every U-boat, just had to make U-boats afraid, cautious, hesitant. And that fear was strategic victory. U-boats that don't attack don't sink ships. Mission accomplished without combat. By late 1944, some U-boat commanders refused to attack small convoys entirely. Too risky, probably bait. Avoid. But then real small convoys got through untouched. Valuable targets escaped. Donitz was furious. You must attack, this is your mission, stop being cowards. Impossible situation. Attack, and maybe hit a trap. Don't attack and definitely accomplish nothing. Either way, failure. Either way, death or dishonor. The deception operations created this dilemma, weaponized uncertainty, made every decision dangerous, paralyzed German decision-making through doubt. How many U-boats died to decoy operations? Hard to quantify exactly, but estimates exist. Direct trap kills, 30 to 40 U-boats. Confirmed sunk during operations where bait was primary component. Indirect trap effects, 50 to 70 U-boats. Damaged by traps, or lost attempting to attack what might have been traps, or avoiding areas, wasting time, dying to other causes later. Total impact, 80 to 110 U-boats, about 12 to 15% of total U-boat losses, from deliberate deception operations, significant. But the bigger impact was behavioral. U-boats that didn't attack because they feared traps, hundreds of attacks not made, thousands of merchant ships not sunk, millions of tons of cargo delivered safely. Quantifying fear is impossible, but the effect was real, measurable through reduced U-boat effectiveness, declining ships per patrol ratios, increasing return to base rates without attacking. Resources wasted. U-boats searching for fake convoys, chasing false intelligence, converging on empty ocean. Fuel consumed. Battery power drained. Time wasted. Opportunities missed. Allied resources saved. Fewer real escort needed. Smaller convoy escort groups. Resources diverted to offensive operations. D-Day. Italy. Pacific. Because the Atlantic was more secure, the deception operations were force multipliers. Small invested resources, a few carriers, some destroyers, clever planning, generated huge returns. German resources wasted. Allied resources freed. Strategic leverage, and they were repeatable. Low risk for allies. High impact. Sustainable. The operations continued throughout the war. Refinement. Improvement. Evolution. Never stopped working. Beyond tactical and strategic impact, consider psychological effects. What this did to U-boat crews mentally. Imagine you're a U-boat commander. You find a convoy, perfect target. Everything looks right. But is it real or a trap? How do you know? You can't. No way to tell for certain. So you guess. Gamble. Risk your crew's lives on a guess. Attack, and it's real. Success. Ships sunk. Mission accomplished. Survive to fight again. Probably. Attack, and it's a trap. Death. Your entire crew, yourself, all dead, failed, killed by your own aggression. By taking the bait. Don't attack, and it's real. Mission failure. Wasted patrol. Done it's angry. Court-martial possible. Reputation destroyed. Career ended. Don't attack, and it's a trap. You survive, but accomplish nothing, and you'll never know if you made the right choice. The doubt remains. Every decision is agony. Every convoy creates stress. Every contact generates fear. Not just of combat. Fear of being fooled. Fear of being manipulated. Fear of making wrong choices. This breaks people. Commanders second-guess themselves. Hesitate. Make poor decisions. Get their crews killed through indecision. Crews lose faith in commanders. He won't attack anything. Too cautious. Too afraid. We're wasting our time. Or, opposite problem, he attacks everything. Too aggressive. Doesn't evaluate threats. Going to get us killed. Unit cohesion fractures. Trust erodes. Effectiveness collapses. Not from combat losses. From psychological pressure. From manufactured doubt. From weaponized deception. And there's no counter. No training helps. No experience protects. Veterans fell for traps. New crews fell for traps. Everyone was vulnerable. Everyone was scared. The fear became its own weapon. Self-perpetuating. Growing. Spreading. Infecting the entire U-boat force. Destroying morale more effectively than depth charges. The Allies improved deception operations constantly, learning from each iteration, each success, each failure. Early operations were crude, obvious disguises, Q-ships that looked too military, convoys with too few ships, patterns that gave away the trap. Experienced U-boat commanders spotted these. That merchant ship sits too high in water, empty, or fake. That escort maneuvers too professionally. Wartime navy, not merchant crew. Avoid. So, the Allies refined. Better disguises. Actual cargo in fake merchants. Wait for realistic waterlines. Trained crews to act like merchant sailors. Sloppy formations. Slower responses. More realistic. They studied U-boat tactics. How they approached. What they targeted. What attracted them. Used that knowledge to build better bait. U-boats prefer attacking from the dark side of the convoy. So position our strongest forces there. Hidden. Waiting. U-boats target lagging ships. Ships with smoke problems. So fake those. Make one ship appear damaged. Slow. Separating. Irresistible bait. They used multiple deception layers. The obvious bait is actually not bait. The real trap is the ship you didn't notice. The one that looks too boring to target. Meta-deception. Deception within deception. Psychological chess. incredibly sophisticated. And they shared knowledge. British lessons taught to Americans. American innovations adopted by British. Canadian tactics integrated. Commonwealth cooperation meant everyone learned everything. Fast, efficiently. The learning curve was steep, rapid. By 1944, Allied deception operations were masterclass level. Professional, scientific. Art and science combined. The Germans couldn't match this. Couldn't adapt fast enough. Couldn't coordinate as well. Lost the deception war completely. For years, U-boats hunted convoys. Weak ones, valuable ones, easy targets, high tonnage, low risk, good hunting. Then the Allies turned the tables, created fake convoys, perfect targets, too good to be true, because they were. Lightly escorted, slow, valuable cargo. Everything a U-boat wanted. Everything designed to attract them. Everything a trap. U-boats attacked, fired, torpedoes, got excited, called in wolf packs, prepared for glory, for success, for kills. Then the merchant ships revealed hidden weapons. The few escorts multiplied. Aircraft appeared from nowhere. The hunters became hunted. The attackers became targets. 30 to 40 U-boats died directly to decoy operations. 50 to 70 more died indirectly. 80 to 110 total. 12 to 15% of all U-boat losses, from clever lies, from engineered bait, from weaponized deception. And countless more U-boats became cautious, afraid, ineffective, reduced to hesitant shadows, unable to attack, unable to accomplish missions, strategic failures without being sunk. The perfect convoy was a decoy. The easy target was a trap. The hope was a lie. And thousands of submariners learned this too late, while dying, while sinking, while realizing they'd been fooled. The lesson is eternal. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. If the enemy offers you an easy target, question why. If you're being given exactly what you want, someone wants you to take it. And that someone probably wants to kill you. U-boats found the perfect convoy, and it was a decoy. And they died, because hope blinds, because desire overrides caution, because predators can become prey when hunters set traps. 28,000 German submariners, many died to traps, to bait, to lies, to convoys that weren't convoys, to perfect targets that were perfect deaths. They found what they wanted, and it destroyed them. The perfect convoy, the perfect trap. The perfect deception. If you made it through this story of lies, death, and strategic genius, subscribe right now. Hit that button, because next week's video covers another insane World War II deception operation that you won't believe. Click the video on screen for another incredible true story. You won't regret it. This is history that deceives. Operations that kill through cleverness. Wars won through lies. See you next time.